I'm just going to say it like it is right now. Dealing with narcissists is a waste. It's a goddamn waste. It's a waste of your time when you could have been doing anything else. It's a waste of your communication skills. They're not listening. They're just thinking how they can use this information against you when you're down. Dealing with narcissists is a waste. You waste your affection. You waste your caring and compassion. You waste your empathy. You waste your friendship. You could have been friends with someone else. You could have met someone else and had a whole relationship. But no, you were with a narcissist. And that was a waste. You wasted your resources, your finances. If they didn't somehow separate you from your finances, you would have wasted your money on buying them presents or setting up a home with them. And that's a waste because they're just lying to you, scheming, and probably have other sources of supply behind your back. What a waste. It's a waste of your good intentions for the future. You had plans with them. You sat and talked these things out. They weren't just a fantasy to you. These were things you really wanted to do. These were things you put your heart and soul into. These were things that you invested in your spirit, from the best place within you. And yes, the narcissist would have been nodding and smiling, and they would have done nothing to contribute to that good future. Even though they would have pretended that was the case, they would have just undermined it at every turn. What a waste. I've said it before and I'll say it again. A narcissist is a black hole, an abyss. You take everything of value, everything that is good, all the building blocks of a life, of purpose, of a family. Take all those things, give them to a narcissist, and instead of a life with value and purpose, instead of things having been transmuted to care into something that could be stable and provide, you look up and everything's gone. What happened? The narcissist happened. And the narcissist represents waste. I've said it also before. It's not like you bring all of your good intentions, all of your finances, all of your resources, all of your experience. You bring them to the table. It's not like the narcissist does anything good with them. And it's not even like the narcissist does anything good for themselves. For some of us, with that giving, that if the narcissist at least took all of these things from us, but they made a good life for themselves, caring, loving, truthful, it might at least not be an entire waste. Surprise, surprise, that's not what happens. They take everything good, and then even their own lives is still a shit show. Still rubbish, still hurting people, still never learning from their mistakes. Think about every time you told the narcissist, look, what you did hurt me, please don't do it again. And then they proceeded to do it 50 more times. everything you said was a waste. But that's really only the tip of the iceberg, because I'm kind of not telling the truth right now. Not everything was just a waste. It gets worse. At a minimum, everything that you provided in your life with the narcissist has gone into a black hole and abyss and didn't produce anything good. That's at a minimum. But if a narcissist is really wily, it gets worse than that. It's not that nothing good was produced, it's that it was actively used for negative. You'll find that it's not funny, I shouldn't be laughing, but I've seen this myself. The things that you taught the narcissist, the things that you shared so that they could bring value to your life with them, or if you weren't with them, at least they could bring true value to their own lives. They use that to manipulate their new supplies. They use that to make themselves look really smart and like spiritual and mysterious to their new supply. So they use the things that you were trying to help them with to hurt other people. Ain't that something? I suggest that you do not doubt what I'm saying, because I have ample experience with this. But I understand if you do doubt, because for my part, I also couldn't believe that this person, that narcissist that I've come in contact with, could be this low, but I was still learning about them back then. Now I know. Now I know that that's not even how low they can go. It gets much, much worse. But regardless, yes, everything with a narcissist is a waste, but a waste is preferable, really, compared to active harm. And that's where we find ourselves often, people like myself and possibly you too, who've had these run-ins with these people who turn everything of goodness into harm, is that we have to consider that we may be enabling harm. I really hope that as I do more of these videos, it'll help people to identify narcissists faster. Because the sooner we identify them, the sooner that we can stop giving them more information that they'll just use to hurt more people. Because they don't use it for good. They use it to create a more convincing mask, a more convincing costume. And then the narcissist goes from being wasteful to being something even more malevolent, where we question our own goodness, we question our support, we question our help. And I think it's good that we do that, because we have a responsibility to make sure that our love, our caring, our compassion is not used to do more harm. Of course, we have minimal control over certain things, but we can do due diligence. And in this case, to me, due diligence is recognizing people that will take good and turn it against decent people. I've used this phrase before, and I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it many times. If you repay good with evil, you will never get evil out of your house. That's the thing about the narcissists. They don't believe that. They're intoxicated by what seems like success and advancement. And we are all grieving their advancement at a cost to us. But even that's a distraction. We need to be more strategic. We need to be more discerning. That's what we should be focusing on. The fact that now we know better, we can do better. Now that we see what they do with our love, with our care, when we are unsuspecting, now we can put in place measures to prevent them using it against us and others who are unsuspecting and mean no harm to others. I hope that gave you food for thought. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And if you like, please do like, share and subscribe. Till next time.